Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Little Prince. Today, we have a super fun guest with us. But
Yeah.
before we get into introducing them, we thought it'd be fun to do a little throwback to our "What are you drinking today?"
Yeah.
So we'll start with JV. What are you drinking today?
I just cracked this is it's not an alcoholic beverage. It just looks like I don't know why they market them like this. It's Liquid Death.
Smart marketing, man.
I know. Rest in peach. I bring these to work with me, and then people are like, "Excuse me, what are you drinking?" I swear it's iced tea. I don't. The cans don't look that great, but it's just Liquid
As
Death.
a lawyer, that is extremely funny.
I walk into the courtroom with this thing. They're like, "Ma'am, this is a tough day today. Okay."
Yeah.
How about you, Amy? What are you drinking?
Yeah, Amy, what do you? Oh, before we do her drink, let's introduce
We should
her.
introduce her.
Yes.
Ugh, we are the worst. Okay, we have Amy Hall here today, an incredible audiobook narrator, and I can't wait to chat with you, Amy, about all the things. But thank you for joining us today on this beautiful,
Yes.
well, it's Sunday, but by the time the episode releases, it's Wednesday. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here, and I've been looking forward to this.
We're so excited to have you on, and thank you because I know
Yes.
you were traveling this last week too.
Yeah, I got home last night. With all the flight delays, we were worried, but yeah, made it
Oh, yeah.
home, good to go. So
I'm so glad to hear that, and thank you. So first thing this morning, you're like, all right, right back to business.
Podcast. Yeah.
Yep.
My God. So what are you drinking?
I am out of my Karopi Stanley. I am drinking Hint water. It's the blueberry lemon flavor. It's just like a light,
Ooh.
but it's crazy because it's almost like it sits in your mouth and you're like, oh, like it almost is like a blueberry muffin. But like good, not
Oh.
like weird. So like,
Interesting.
yeah, so good. I love Hint water. So good.
Is it sparkling or
water.
is it still?
It's still.
I've never heard of it. I mean, I know like LaCroix, it always feels like a little
Mhm.
bit someone burped into the water. You know,
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, you thought of lemon when you made this drink.
Right. Yeah.
But they're all sparkling. I like that it is still water because I'm not a sparkling water. Tyler, though, she is like, give me the crispy,
the
spicy,
water.
crunchy.
Yeah.
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 I'm like,
Love
oh my
it.
God.
Love it. So question, this is now we're just talking about Hint water, not a sponsor. Wish they were.
Yes.
Is it like a little packet that you add in? Because I've seen those videos, everyone who does like their flavored waters.
Yeah, I drink a lot of water, and I love water. So I do have the packets, but Hint is they're in bottles and cans, and it's basically like bottled
Interesting.
water, but then it just has just a little bit of flavor, and they have tons of different flavors. But the blueberry lemon is my favorite.
I've never seen it. And we're
Yeah, you
like,
guys
we
live in the
live
same
in
area.
close, yeah, we live in this close proximity. And I've never seen them. Like, where do you buy them?
Now that you've
I think I just got mine at like Vaughn's, but you can get them. I know you can get them at Target. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them. Yeah, they have a website too where you can do like a subscription where you get like 3 12 packs a month or like pick your
Yeah.
flavors or whatever.
Huh, good to know.
well, I was more asking for you. So now you know where to get. Now you're gonna go out today and you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's literally everywhere.
Yeah.
'Cause it's on your
Everywhere.
radar now.
It was just because I was never
At the
looking
gas
for it
station.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you know, the liquid death, we're talking about water. We have an incredible audiobook narrator on and we're talking about water, but you know, the liquid deaths, like you see the regular straight liquid death everywhere, but the ones I like, the Dead Billionaire and the Rest in Peach, they're hard to find. I have like a specific gas station that I have to go to get like the tall boys. Anyway, should we get into it?
Yes, I'll do a shout out to
actually?
what I'm drinking. I'm just having a coffee. Hot water.
In your Cozy Girl Book Club mug.
Yes, I am literally okay. Marshalls or Winners or TJ Maxx or whatever you guys call it. I am such a sucker every time I go in. I'm like, why is there so many cute coffee cups?
But this one you got at your version of Home Goods because I was at
Yes.
the actual Home Goods yesterday and I saw the mug and I thought of you. So
You didn't buy it? How freaking dare you?
no, I didn't because I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't need mugs.
I guess that's true. That's fair.
No.
Okay, let's talk. Let's actually like do the
Talk to our
podcasting,
guest.
where we talk to our guests about the things that they do.
Yeah.
So Amy, I mean I have a ton of questions. But I want to ask, so your travel this last week, was it for business purposes or was it
No,
leisure?
it was for
No.
fun. Yeah.
Oh, good. Anywhere?
Good,
Did you
yeah.
get to go anywhere fun?
I went to Hawaii. I was in Hawaii, so
So, yes.
it was great. It was perfect. It was just what I needed. Yeah.
I bet,
Oh,
I
that's
bet.
amazing.
How does that work? Do you have a ton of deadlines right now
Yeah,
for
so I do.
booking?
But my family and I had talked about it a while ago, and so we were like taking this week off.
Yeah.
Um, so that was blocked out. But so it's actually kind of funny right now. So I'm getting ready to move. I'm in the
Oh,
process of building a house. And,
nice.
it's been like a 5-year process. It's been this thing, and it's just and we're finally getting to the deadline, and then I went to go check the building, app just to make sure, and then all of a sudden, we were pushed back like 2 months, which is so hard for narrators because, like, so
Yeah,
I didn't book any books in January so that I could move. I was like,
yeah.
"Okay, I'm gonna take this whole month, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna do all this." Well, now it's the house isn't gonna be done until the end of February, and
Oof.
so I have no jobs in January, and I am booked through February and March, so I don't know when
Oh,
I'm gonna get to move. So it's,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it's one of those things that is just very it's strange and it's hard because it's you wanna be booked up, but you don't wanna be too booked up because life happens, so,
Mhm.
but yeah.
so
So are
how long
you
Oh, go
oh,
ahead,
go ahead.
Ty. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, are you embracing the January off, or would you like people to like contact you? Like, if you have a book you want done,
Eh,
contact me.
um, yeah, kinda both.
Okay,
I'm yeah, I just got a, book, like, when I was leaving to go on vacation for January, and that worked out pretty well, so I was like, "Okay, that's nice."
good.
But at the same
Nice.
time too, I'm like, I don't like to rush anything, so it's,
Mhm.
I think, yeah, that eh, time off isn't bad, even though in
No,
our
you
brains we
need it.
say it's the worst thing ever, and
Yep.
everyone's gonna forget us, and we're never gonna get a job again, and it's completely over for us, but it's fine. A break is fine.
Yep.
Yeah, and you
Yes.
need it too. We talk about it on the podcast all the time about how I don't know if it's a distinctly female problem or if it's our generation or what that is, that feeling like if we just sit our butt down and try to rest, we feel like it's not enough. We need to constantly be churning out, hustling something new,
Yeah.
more, more, more.
Yeah.
And not realizing that rest is productive, right? We need
Right.
it for our bodies. So I
That's why
totally
we
feel
have
that.
PTO at work,
Yeah, I
because rest is
know.
productive.
I just
Yeah.
keep building on my PTO. I'm like, "No, you should probably take a vacation at some point in life." So how f are you I mean, okay, so Amy, I
Let's
know
start from the
you
beginning. Let's
all
let's
the
find out,
things.
like yeah, let's put a little bit of a like, a path on this
Bring it
podcast
down a
because
little from a 10 to
me
6.
editing, I'm, like, moving this here, here, over here, making it cohesive. Let's just start from the beginning, like, we read your, form that you submitted. You have a pretty extensive background when it comes to, doing
Like
what you
acting.
do for your
Yeah.
job,
Yeah.
like acting, which is funny because 'cause we've talked to 2 other, um, narrators, Brandon Francis and Carmen Chantel, and they both kinda came into it with none. So I'd love to hear, like, how that prepared you. How did you find your path in voice acting or acting in general?
So, I just always my parents signed me up for like here it's north of the river, but it's basically like YMCA, like the
Ew.
city, yeah, yeah. And they put on big theater productions. So I did the Pied Piper of Hamelin was my first show, and I don't know, maybe
Nice.
like 6 or 7, and
Wow.
it was so fun. I just had an absolute blast. And then so I was doing it every year. I was going to like theater camps, and like I was an annoying theater kid. Like that was I loved it. But I
All the
also
way through, like,
played
high school?
well, so I played basketball, and then when I got
Oh.
to the point and I was playing club, and then I was trying to do theater at the same time, and then it got to the point when high school I realized I there was no way I could do both. I couldn't do both. So I
Yeah.
was like in advanced theater class, but I couldn't do any of like the shows. And then
Oh.
so, I was like, "Well, I'm basketball is a thing, I'm gonna do that." And then so and I went to go play basketball, and then, during college, I kind of, like, was like, "I really miss this. I really miss theater a lot." But and I was always taking, like, Shakespeare classes and still, involved somehow, but not really on stage a ton. And then so back in college, I got involved back in theater, and then I got hurt playing basketball, and so I wasn't able to play anymore. So I was like, well, it's time to go back on stage. And then so I started just working at theaters, and I think my first show back in college, I got an award, and it was that was
Cool.
just super validating. It was like, okay, this is the right path. Like this is the
Mhm.
thing to do. So then I kept with that, and then I started working for a theater here in town, and it is the only nonprofit donation-based theater in North America. And so they
Oh,
stayed open purely on donations, doing
wow.
incredible work. And so
Oh, cool.
loved it there so much. And then, but when the pandemic happened, they couldn't put on shows, and so everyone was trying to figure out how do we still just have some money so that we can open when everything is allowed to open back up. And so they
Yeah.
started doing radio plays. And s when I went in to go record, I just had the best time ever. It was just so fun just getting on the mic and just playing and being goofy. And it was a excuse me, I haven't talked in a week. I've been laying out at the pool for a week. So it was a Christmas play, and so I got to be like this elf, and she was just like, fun and goofy, and it was just I had so much
Mhm.
fun. And my mom had been saying for years, she's like, "You need to look into audiobook narrating," because I started reading romance, I think I was 13 or 14, started reading historical. And so like I just a heavy duty reader. Just my whole life I've just read. And she was just like, you need to do this. These are the two things that you love. You need to look at that. And
I
so
love that.
after that first recording session, I came home and just kind of researched, and then I told myself, take a year, learn the business because it is a complete change.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
I got a couple of coaches and learned like the business side of it, and it was that was the hardest thing for me, I think, the adjustment, because the acting part was I'd been doing it for years and years. I was okay with that. It was just the learning the differences in that acting and then the business part of it. And so, yeah, I did that. And
Mhm.
then once I was comfortable, I started auditioning, and then I've just been doing it full time since.
That's
That is
incredible.
so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible that you got to like dive in and do it full time, right? Because
Yeah,
I
And
know
then
yeah,
some audiobook narrators are like, okay, it's like a side hustle until they can
right.
sort of build that up and
yeah.
get the books and the bookings and things like that, and just to be able to live off that. But I imagine it's also kind of nerve wracking, like it is for any actor, right? But like if you get sick or
Yeah.
something happens, there's construction. I mean, so much of it is out of your control too,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I imagine is scary. So you know what's so funny? What always comes up during our podcast is this idea like that the pandemic, because so many people have their pandemic like what how best to describe it, but like they found themselves during
Yeah.
Yeah.
that time. Like as
Uh,
awful as it was, I think it also allowed people to really dig into their like creative side and find something that brings them true joy.
Yeah. I think too, with any sort of situation like that, when so much pain and suffering and death is brought to the forefront, people
Yeah.
realize, okay, well, life is so incredibly short, and like what are
mhm.
we doing here? What's the point of being here? And I feel truly that like deep down, all humans intrinsically know that like we're here to tell stories, create art, and leave the best thing we can for the next generations. And I think that, facing that, and with COVID and everything, I think it gave the opportunity for so many people to be so beautifully artistic. And even if it was like,
Yeah.
for most of it for the pandemic, and I was doing paint by numbers, you know what I mean? And they're ugly as
Yeah.
hell, but it felt good, and it made my brain happy. And like,
It's
I
cathartic
think
too. Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so yeah, everybody has some sort of artist in them, and it's,
Mhm.
it's an awful, terrible thing, but it is always really lovely to see people be able to find their art.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cathartic. I think so, and therapeutic and all the things. D
Did
Yeah.
you make a sourdough during COVID?
I didn't. I have celiacs, and so I like, yeah,
Oh,
I
no
Oh,
had to stay away.
gluten.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
I
Oh my
definitely
gosh.
did. I was like, "I'm gonna make a sourdough. Everyone's making sourdough." There's a lot of
Yeah.
peer pressure on social media to do all these, like, random fake banana bread, make a sourdough, do all these,
I
Yeah.
like,
redid my
really creative
kitchen.
things.
I
You
took
upgraded your
everything
kitchen?
off
Nice.
and painted it and all the things. Yeah.
Another
Yeah,
good
I
thing
know.
that came. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Amy, like you narrate books for some huge authors. Like
Yeah.
I was just listening to you doing Pucking Around by Emily Rath the other day. I mean, you have huge names under your belt. How does that feel?
Good. It feels great. Yeah, I mean, I have, so when I first started, I made like a little list. It says manifest it, bitch. And it's just like,
Yes.
it's like authors that I would
Yes.
love to work for. And it's getting to mark off names on that is just, it's pretty surreal. It's not like 4 years ago, Amy never expected that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's at the same time too, I just think that I there's so many good books out there, and even if they're not well known yet, I'm happy to take it on and to get to read these books and be these characters because there's incredible authors that are just
Um,
waiting to get seen, and
yeah. Oh,
so
Yeah.
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 Very true. So, on your list, like, who is one person who's your favorite person that you got to cross off, and who is the person that is still on the list where you're like, "If that came
Sorry.
through, I would pee my pants."
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so sorry. That's my
You're good.
bottle.
Like, let me pull that list up really quick. My
And then a following question when you're
Okay.
done is give us a reenactment or like the feeling you got when you got that first, like, I want to book you for like
Yeah.
your first one, not like the biggest one, but like your first one. You don't have to
Um,
reenact it. That's weird. But just like
yeah.
tell us your feelings.
Reenact.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
we asked Brandon Francis and
Pantomime.
he was like, yeah. We asked Brandon Francis and he was like, well, I was on the toilet. I was like, let's not. Let's just keep
That
it.
yeah.
very detailed, Brandon. Thank you.
Yeah.
I remember with Pucking Around, because I had heard of the book before. I had met Emily at a book convention. And so
Yeah.
like
Oh, wow.
I'd known about it before. And then so when they first sent the email, they were like, would you be interested in being submitted for this project? And I was like, yeah, great. And then I just kind of expected never to hear from them again. And then it was like a week and a half, and usually they get back to you within a couple of days and they'll say yes. If it's a no, they just don't respond, and so you just never hear about it again. And so it had been like a week and a half, and I was like, okay. And I was on my couch and I was playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I remember I was doing a replay
Nice.
of that, and then I just flipped open my phone and then I read the email, and I was like, I looked down and then I just tossed the phone next to me and to like my friend, and I was like,
That one.
look at that. Like, and then because we had been talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I got it. But that's fine. And then I was just
That's so
saw,
cool.
oh shit. So yeah, that was that one.
That's crazy.
Let me see.
That's gotta be an
I
amazing
Okay,
moment.
one that hasn't happened yet. Catherine Moon. Love her stuff so
Mhm.
much. I would
Mhm.
love to narrate for her one day. One that I crossed off that was um let me see. Um, Elliot Rose, which is like
Ooh, wow.
we actually we were kind of friends, like Insta friends, social media friends through
Yeah.
on Insta. And so I had started reading her right when she released books, and I think like she was one of my first follows on my narrator Instagram. And then yeah, we had chatted a few times here and there, and just
Yeah.
but then like that was she was one of the first people on my list. And then yeah, and now I've done so many of hers, and just
That's
yeah,
so
she's
crazy.
she's one of my favorites. I love her.
You just brought up the topic of like book conventions, and I saw your Instagram
Which
reel,
you're
or
very
maybe
active on, and we love it.
very active, which is awesome. Maybe it was a
Thank you.
reel or it was a story, but you were talking about how you get kind of going to take a step back from attending book conventions. And it was so interesting to watch that because I'd never thought about that. As an author, I obviously go because I expect visibility and I get to
Right.
sell my books. But you guys, as audiobook narrators, I never really like, I don't know why I never thought about that, but you don't have that. You don't have a
Right.
product to sell. You essentially go, you invest money, but you don't always get treated like authors do,
Right.
and you can't expect the same return.
Right.
And that, I thought that was so interesting to hear
Mhm.
Yeah.
from you. So what's going to be your approach like going forward,
I want to go to
do you think?
events that, it I don't feel like, we're more important than authors. Obviously, we need, authors are the thing, and that's what, it's all about. But we need narrators need more from these, conventions. We need
Yeah.
because we can't make our money back. It's nothing but a
Yeah.
loss for
Mhm.
us, and it's because and then we have to have swag, and people could say, "Oh, you don't need it." People aren't gonna stop if you don't. You need to have that stuff. You need to have some way to get people to stop. Um, for me, one of the biggest things about conventions is it helps my mental health to be able to talk to people, to be able to get,
Yeah.
I'm used to being on a stage and then, having meet and greets after and getting to talk to the audience and
Yeah.
hearing how
Mhm.
certain lines affected them or, that sort of thing. And that's what keeps it going and keeps the energy up. And with audiobooks, you don't have that. You're in a room by yourself and, there's
Yeah.
no energy to feed off of. So events are huge for me to feel that, to recharge, to be able to get back in there and feel better about the work. Um, so it's important to meet the readers, but at the same time, we need to be able to book jobs. And so if
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah.
able to talk to authors at the event, if authors aren't given an opportunity to know that like, hey, narrators are here and they're happy to introduce you to audio or to tell you how to get started or are wanting to work with you, if there's no way for them
Mhm.
to know that, it's a waste of time and money for us as
Yeah.
narrators.
No, that, and you know what? I didn't even really think about it until you had brought it up, and I listened to you, and I was like, "Well, you know what they should do is they should have truly an opportunity for authors to connect with the narrators, get information." Because I remember the very first book convention I went to, I went as a reader rather than an author, and that's where I learned about high gravity audiobook productions, and I talked to a bunch of narrators, and I got information because I was like, maybe one day I'll, have the funds to have my books turned into audiobook. And, then as an author, now I go to these conventions and I'm hustling like
Right.
all the other
Yeah.
authors, like all the
Nonstop.
other audiobook narrators. And I don't get the opportunity even to stop by other tables and shop other authors' books.
Yeah.
But I would love to be able to connect with audiobook narrators and get info on how to book, how
Mhm.
far out are you booked, what are your rates,
Right.
do you work with a production company, do you do your own production? Because so much of it is, just like that business aspect that
Right.
I don't know how I'm gonna get that otherwise.
Totally. I
Yeah.
wonder if there should be like authors and narrators. Like if like
Yeah.
dang it, what was the name of the lady you just said?
Who, me or Amy?
No, Amy, the one you just said that you did the narration for.
Oh, Elliot
Um
Rose?
Elliot Rose, that was it. Thank you. Um Elliot Rose, Amy Hall, same booth.
Right.
So you guys can like you can at
Mhm.
least have a place where people recognize obviously Emily Rose and they're like, "Holy crap, who's this?" And you're like, "Oh, she narrated my book. You know, you
Right.
liked it? Talk to this lady, right?" But I can
Yeah.
see how that could be hard to do. I mean, you're in the US, so it's a lot easier than in Canada. But yeah, I always it's so interesting to this is why we love the podcast because we're bringing attention to the things that need attention that people don't even think about. And we actually this is a little bit of a spoiler, but we had Love LitCon. Is that who it was?
Love VidCon. Mhm.
Love LitCon on last like couple weeks ago. And they're a huge like convention. So like even
Yeah.
them probably hearing this, they're like, oh, you know what? Okay, cool. Let's see if we can make a change and do stuff, right? So it does really
Yeah.
suck though. I didn't even really think about that. I went with you as just like a helper and it was just hustling. I didn't really want to
Yeah.
walk around, but I also didn't really have time to walk around to see everybody
Yeah.
else's book, right? Because then you also, as somebody who's just walking around, you can't buy every single book that's at a book convention, especially if you're flying back to Canada.
Yeah.
So you're like, they do their pitch, and then you're like, oh, that sounds really good. Like I'm just walking around, right? You kind of feel bad as a reader not being able to just pick up everybody's book and having to be selective. But everyone's there trying to sell themselves. How does a
Right.
narrator sell themselves? Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And it's one of those
very,
things that you
very
don't
interesting.
like. Yeah, and if we have free time, if you have downtime and it's, there's lulls in conventions, and so you don't it's you almost have to get yourself to leave your booth, go talk to authors, which
Yeah.
I feel awful about because I'm like, I don't wanna come here and be, it almost feels like predatory where it's like, "You're sitting down, I
Yeah.
got you
Mhm.
now," and it's you don't wanna do that, like, but
Yeah.
it's almost like you kinda have to because it's like, I'm just gonna slip you my business card, just let when and also, I love books. I want time to buy books. I wanna walk around and I wanna talk
Yeah.
to people and so I wish there was a way that it could be figured out, whereas it is a situation where it's, "Hey," like, a speed dating situation or,
Yes.
just a
Yes.
Mhm.
and I know they have a lot of, like, the first night, like, drinks, meet and greets and stuff, but that's fun time, and it's
Yeah.
narrators would like to have
Yeah.
fun time too. It doesn't just be
Yes.
Yeah.
like, we don't wanna have to work during fun time, and
Yeah.
maybe authors don't wanna be bugged at that moment. Like, there should be a
Yeah.
specific time that is
Yeah.
for the business part of it, and if they wanna be involved, then they can
Agree.
be, and, it's so
I
I hope that they
totally
start
agree.
yeah, just understanding a little bit more that, like, there's the only way for us to make money is to get jobs in the future, and if
Yeah.
if we don't have
Yeah.
time to do that, then what are we doing?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think
It's
there
so
there needs
crazy.
to be something separate just for authors and narrators, even if it's an hour in the morning
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something. Like a you know how like sometimes
Where it's
there's these
dedicated work talk.
yeah,
right.
Like, it's not
dedicated
Yeah,
just mingle.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes they have these author conventions where there's like a pitch. You can
right.
pitch publishers,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
should be almost something like that. Like, and you know that at that time you'll have authors who are interested in having their books
right.
turned into audio, right? So you're not just like
Yeah.
cold calling, quote unquote.
Exactly.
And
Or
that
even a
mingling time.
panel, like,
Yeah,
yeah, have a panel that's
yeah,
only open to, narrators and authors or just,
yes,
something that, yeah, gives us
yeah,
that moment for the people that want it, because not everybody's gonna want it, and there's some people that don't care about audio, or there's some people that are set, and that's great.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great. So, but yeah, something for the people that want it or want to learn more.
Yeah, I think that was so smart and something that I had never even thought about. It's so interesting
Yeah.
that because you have such a different perspective coming
Right.
into this bookish realm, the creator space as a narrator rather than the writer. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes complete sense because I'm like, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't always make my money back, but the hope is to at least cover my table fee. And I'm like, bam, I never, of course, an audiobook narrator doesn't have that.
Yeah.
No.
You can't even sell the audiobook because you're not
No, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
no.
you could, but you're
It's
not
not
gonna
ours, yeah.
not yours. So
Jeez.
that's so fascinating. I love
Yeah.
that. I think there's
I d
gotta be a
I
way.
think that it's yeah, I think it's so great that you brought it up, so thank you. Well, I mean, JV, you brought it up, but I mean, talking about it, having that open discussion about it, because it's definitely something that needs to change, for
Yeah,
sure.
I
Yeah.
think that we should, I'm gonna be at Spicy we have Spicy Reads, Raven's Spicy Reads on, in December. We should bring that up with her 'cause
Mhm.
I 'cause I think she's got a I know Teddy Hamilton, I think, is supposed to be there. Is that Ravens? Or is that next year at yeah, it
I
is
think Ravens
Ravens.
is next weekend.
Yeah, I might get my conventions
Yeah.
mixed up, but, I'm like, "We need
There's a lot
Amy,
of them.
and can we have a designated time when
Yeah.
authors get to chat with audiobook narrators?" Because I'm always trying to learn. I'm trying to figure out how I can make it possible for me to get my books turned into audio, right?
Mhm.
At a in a way that is affordable to me,
Right.
and you don't always know, like, okay, is this actor somebody who works specifically with an audiobook production company, or do they do it all in house? Like, how do
Right.
you do it, Amy? Do you do your own production? Do you work with a production company? Do you do it? Is it a smorgasbord of things?
It is a smorgasbord, yeah, it's a
Mm,
collection. I now lately, and I think coming up into the new year is mostly with, production companies. It's just,
yeah,
the editing and the mastering, and it just takes so much time, and
yeah,
it's just one of those, and it's always just so much better to have another ear hearing what you've done just to make
Mhm.
sure that it's right, and
yeah.
so that but there are occasional projects that, I'll take on that I will do
It
everything, but
yourself.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
Wow.
the best part of being in for me is being in the booth, so I want more
Yeah.
time to do that and to tell the stories and, be the
I hear
characters, and
that.
so,
Yeah,
yeah,
not the other
if I
crap.
can
Editing sucks.
yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah.
editing does suck. No matter what you do, editing suck. As a writer, as an audiobook
Yeah,
narrator,
yeah,
as you,
yeah.
the podcast
Content
editor,
creator.
Yeah,
all the things.
Yep.
The editing is the worst part, and the marketing and all of that. I just
yeah,
want to create. Can I
right.
just create and then when I type the end, that's the end for me? No.
Yeah.
No. That's like 10% of the work. Yeah. No. So when you said that you took like a year to learn the business, was that part of the business, like the editing,
Yeah,
the equipment you need, the all of that?
yeah,
I'm
all of
just
it,
making
yeah.
sounds.
Yeah, so I wasn't a huge audiobook listener before I started,
Yeah.
and so I just
Interesting.
I'm a very fast reader, and so
Good for
I
you.
could just go yeah, it's just
I'm not.
uh, it's almost it's expensive. That's it. It's
Oh,
an
yeah.
expensive
Yes,
problem to
ma'am.
have. Yeah, yeah.
Tyler knows.
Yes, ma'am.
And growing up, my mom was just like, she would always be like, "Are you actually reading that? Are you actually? There's no way you should be finished." And I'm like, "I promise you, I am." It's just so,
I
but
get it.
and it's I have to get myself to slow down in the booth too, because when I'm reading on my iPad, I get going, and I'm like, "Okay, hold on, you're telling a story, you're not just reading here." So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so oh, I forgot even where I was going with this.
I had asked you about
The
the learning of the
Okay, there
production
it is.
and
There
all
it
of
is.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Um, that brain. So
the
yeah,
vacation mode, baby.
it's unfortunately it always is, and that's the problem. Um, yeah, I learned there's just so much technically about it that is so and it's learning just even
Yeah,
to learn to what have your mic levels at and like what's an audio
Mhm.
processor, what's a DAW, what why is this microphone great and why is this one one everyone says stay away from, and
yeah,
so that is just it's so much to learn, and I think that yeah, I think a lot of people they get they hear, oh, I have a great voice, how should I get started? And that's something where you get asked 100 times at conventions, people,
Yeah.
oh, how do you I was told once that I have a really nice voice, so I was thinking about doing this, and which great. If someone's you know, honestly feeling it and it's something they're passionate about and they wanna do, my
Then
DMs
do
are
the
always
work.
open. Yeah, and I will tell
Yeah.
you how I got started, and I'll push you the ways, and I'm happy to help people. But also, like, it's one of those things where would you go up to your doctor and, when they're giving you an exam and say, "Well,
Yeah.
someone said that I was really great with science, so how do I get started doing what
Yeah.
you do?" It's
Yeah.
one of like, when I'm at work, don't come ask how to do my job. It's just a very interesting thing. It's weird. I've never had anything like that, but in audiobooks it is because I think that a lot of people don't realize that there's so much technical stuff in it. There's it's
Yeah.
not just sitting and reading. It's not. And so like I made the joke at a panel that I was just like saying that you have a nice voice is like the last thing to worry about when it
yeah.
comes to
Yeah.
audiobook narration.
It's
Like,
so funny because I the only thing I can relate it to really is my job as a lawyer when people come up and it's usually young folks and it's totally cool. They're like I've my parents always said that I really like to argue and I really like to argue. So
yeah,
I
Yeah.
think I would be really good as a
right.
lawyer. I'm like
Yeah.
That's like
that doesn't make me a
10% of
good
your
lawyer.
job. The rest
Right.
is
Not
all
even like
paperwork. Yeah.
you should
Yeah.
hate to argue to become a lawyer because you want to resolve shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I
I
argue
think
really
that there
I love it.
Yeah, I think that this is my millennial speaking. I feel like there is a drift with this new generation where instead of going, okay, well, how do I do this and put in the work in and learning like everybody else did when
The
they're
hard
like
way.
where you're at, you did the work. It
Right.
didn't just appear in front of you. I feel like if you walk up to a narrator and you ask a specific question instead of just like, how do I get started? it- there's YouTube, there's Google,
Right.
there's lots of
Yeah.
resources. Go do the work.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you don't do the work, you don't really want to do it.
Right.
Or you want like a really easy turnaround. And a lot of people need to realize that narrating isn't a get quick rich scheme. Like,
It's an
there's
expensive,
definitely,
yeah,
yeah,
You had
it's
that upfront investment.
yeah, yeah,
yep,
and
Yeah.
it's one of you have to if you want to be able to advance and, work for the big fives or work for the big production houses, you need the right equipment, you need that, and
Yeah.
it's,
mm-hmm,
I get people that'll message me and they'll say, "Oh, I just bought a Bluetooth mic and I'm getting started on ACX," and I just wanna be like,
good for you.
research before you buy that because now you've spent,
Yeah,
$100 on something that it's not gonna get you what you need, and so, yeah, it's like I said, I'm more than happy. I am a firm believer in if the people around me are strong and the best possible, that means that I'm going to be producing the best possible work. I
Yeah.
want everyone to be the best, and I firmly believe that there is plenty of books in this
Oh,
oh
world
yeah,
for
yeah.
audiobook narrators it's we don't have to compete. Everybody's voice is different,
mm-hmm,
and
Yeah.
producers are
Agreed.
looking for specifics, and
Yeah.
authors are looking for specifics, so it's there's plenty out there. I'm happy to help and to and tell people of how I did it, because how I did it is not how the person next to me did it. It's all so
mm-hmm,
different, but I'm happy to
Yeah.
help if you're serious and you're ready to put in the work. But if you're
Yeah.
just wanting to talk about it and think that it's something that like we just fell into, that's not the
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. Yeah.
totally.
So many things to
And we've talked
consider.
to quite a bit of narrators who have that same sentiment of like the people around me are good. I'm going to be good. Like the community, it sounds like from the narrators we've had on, it's really just a building each other up
Yeah,
community. There is really like minimal competition when it comes to narration because like you can submit it means nothing. It's up to the author
right.
who they want as their voice, right? So I think that it's so beautiful to hear that it's such like a tight knit, just supportive, uplifting community to be in. And there's a lot of dark areas on the in the book community where it's not that. So it is nice to hear that the narrators really do have each other's backs, and if someone gets it over you, you're like,
Yeah,
"Congrats, like, that's awesome. I'll do the next one, or I'll try for the next one." And it sounds like everybody is finding their people, or their authors are finding their people,
right.
right?
Yeah,
So, like, you're doing crazy books, Brad doing crazy books, Chantel's doing crazy books, and you guys are all polar opposites of each other, right?
yeah,
So, it's a mixed pool, which is great.
Yeah, it is great.
It's
Well,
awesome.
it does take
Yeah.
all kinds of kinds. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Because it's so subjective as an author who has sat with these characters sometimes for years.
yeah,
I
In their brain.
know
Yeah.
what they sound like in my head, and I can have 100 audio book auditions from narrators, and it's not that they're not great at narrating, it's just not the voice in my head. And I'm
Mhm.
yeah.
and
Anyways,
then if it's a book that's been out for a bit,
yeah.
and it's just now getting audio, you have a whole audience of readers who, when they
Yes,
hear it, they
to
say, "That's
consider.
not the voice that's in my head. I hate that."
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
very
oh,
yeah.
that happens all the time. It's so funny
Yeah.
because when I start listening to audiobooks, I'm like, Huh, that is not how I had heard the voice in my head, but most of the time, I listened to it for a while, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, okay, this makes yep, I'm liking this," and a lot of the time,
Yeah,
it's just actually the performance. Like, I remember
yeah.
listening to, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and I was like, that voice doesn't sound like" how old is Violet supposed to be, 20? Is she supposed to be 20 in Fourth Wing? No, younger, 18, 19, whatever, doesn't matter.
She's young,
I
yeah.
was like, but the narrator sounded that it was a more mature voice. I'm like, that doesn't sound young. But oh my God, the performance, like I could hear like with the battle scenes, the conflict, my heart was like speeding up. I'm like, oh, this is really
You're
good. Like
feeling it.
if you can,
Yep.
yeah, she nailed it. I'm like, if you can bring that across with just your voice, which is what makes
Yeah,
audio or voice acting so much more insane to me, is that
Yeah.
you guys have that effect with only your voice. You don't have the benefit of
mhm.
a scene setup, of background sounds like in horror movies, of your body language. It's all your voice. It's
Yeah.
incredible. I
It's
admire that so
really
much.
it's really interesting. It's I've learned too is, through voice acting is so different from, stage acting is that, like, just a little breath or just,
Yeah.
just a hitch
A
in your voice,
pause.
so
Yeah.
much breath, like, play can change so much and
Yeah.
portray so much, and so, yeah, I mean, when I something makes me cry in the booth, I let it go. I'm just like, "No, I'm gonna cry into this mic," and,
Oh,
it's
I love
because
that.
it's yeah, you can't they can't see it, they can't see our facial expressions or, our body
no, but you
movements
can
or, like
feel it.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I love that. So what's your long-term career goal? Are you planning on being an narrator indefinitely? Are you looking to start your own production company? What's like Amy's, if my 3 genie wishes?
I I love romance
Yeah.
audiobooks, like, I love narrating romance, I'm very happy in it and all the genres of it,
Yeah.
it's, um it's a for me, it's a safe space, it's a community, I've been a reader for so long, so being involved in it and getting to meet these authors that I've loved and read for years and years and, becoming friends with them and talking to them on a daily basis, that part of it, getting to be around so many
Yeah.
creatives and just incredible minds is just I'm so happy, and I know a lot of people,
Good.
want to venture out from, audiobooks and try, uh anime and, video games
Yeah.
and that sort of thing, and but, I mean, I'm really content. I love getting up in the morning and, doing a book, and that's
That's so cool.
I feel great where I am.
Yeah. I
That's how
love
you know
that.
you found your perfect job is when it doesn't feel like a job. Like my
Yeah.
husband, he's a car restorer, like he works like that's his 9 to 5. And then he comes home and then he works on cars.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know you really like it when you do it all day and then you come home and want to do it more.
Yeah.
Like, that's dedication. I don't think there's anything in my life that I'm like, I want to do this and then I also want to do this when I'm not on the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for your little small business, creating
Except for my
all the
Hello Happy
bookish
store.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like that stuff.
Yeah.
And YouTube. I'm really enjoying content creation over there.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
it's
me
so
with
funny. I'm
writing.
listening to your voice and I'm reading the Zodiac Academy, and I don't know if you've read the Zodiac Academy at all, but your voice is like pretty much what I hear Elise Callisto, who is like the MMC or the FMC in that book, is like exactly who I hear in my head, which is crazy. And I have to admit, I still have never listened to an audiobook. I am sorry. I apologize in advance. Um, I am very much and I think that you can relate to this. I love a physical book. I'm a mom, and getting into my bed and sitting down with a book and just turning the world off and just, like,
Yeah.
being immersed in that, um, that's, like, my peace. But, yeah, man, you literally, like, Elise is like, it's so weird, like, hearing your voice and then hearing Elise and, like, picturing Elise in my head. Um, so I don't know if you've never read it, but
I
it's
have
a
yeah, I
rabbit
have
hole, but
read
it's really good.
it.
You
Yeah.
have?
I have,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. I'm doing the whole, like, 20 book in the series thing.
Isn't
I'm
that
just
like
finishing
28,
book 4.
90?
Yeah.
No,
There
no,
are
no.
so many.
It's 20, and technically Elise is in the Ruthless Boys, not in Zodiac Academy.
Ah,
But yeah,
I don't know.
she's great. Well, she might be in Zodiac Academy. I don't know. I'm only in book 4, so
Yeah.
she might appear later. So,
Um,
but I think that maybe that's like, as somebody who hasn't listened to a audiobook, I feel like hearing your voice, I can relate it to a character, which is interesting. And
I
then
can
like
too on my head.
JV, I could hear like when I read her books, and I said this from the very beginning, and this is before we became like friends. I read it in her voice. Like all the characters were just in her voice. So I was like, I don't know what that is. But like, yeah, I don't know. Weird. Literally no point to this little segue at all. But
Literally no
yeah.
point. We're just saying things. So
Yeah.
Amy,
Fun.
as we're wrapping things up, tell us, can you
Mhm.
tell us, are you working on any like big, exciting? I'm sure everything is big and exciting, but can
Yeah.
you drop any hints?
Um, yeah. There's a I always get like, what am I allowed to talk about? I don't know what I'm allowed to
I
talk about.
bet.
Sometimes we are.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then I always say, like, if you're wondering, like, what, a narrator is working on or what books are, coming up, I always say go to, I love, Libro FM. That's my favorite, uh, which, Amazon, Audible's great. It's great. But if we can give money to other people, I'm always happy to do that. So I love Libro.
Yep.
And then just do like a search. So like you can go to romance and then click and then change it to from new to old. And then
Oh.
secret pre-orders are always up there. So that's always yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is such a good little insider tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
know there's books up there that and I hope that like
You can't say.
publishers
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
publishers don't hear this and they stop doing that because it's like I'm the nosiest person in the world and I've found this. So I'm like, I love seeing like what people are doing or what books are coming
Yeah.
out. So I'm like, don't take this away from me,
Yeah.
publishers. Please, I need this. Um,
Yeah, I
'Cause
know.
I just am so nosy. I have to know everything. Um,
Cool.
but yeah, I'm working on a big multicast duet
Oh.
with an absolutely phenomenal cast. It's insane that I just am so excited. They haven't released the full cast yet, but it should be released pretty soon. But yeah, I'm working with Pinup Audio for that one, and
Is it a romance?
yeah, it
Is it a
is. Yeah,
romance?
yeah. It
Nice.
is a white choose
Okay.
like
Well, it better be, right? If
urban
you have a
fantasy.
full
Yeah,
cast.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Spicy? Open door?
Wow.
Yes, yeah. And
Woo!
it's a
Ooh.
series. It's a series, and so yeah,
Nice.
starting the first book. We were like they did the casting for that like a year ago. So we have
Ooh.
been like it's been in the works. So I'm excited to finally get in the booth with that one and get started in it. And
Oh,
it's
that's
You know,
crazy.
yeah.
I'm like, my wheels are spinning. I'm like, what is it?
that
What
makes me
is
think of a
it?
question, and I'm so sorry to bug, but so obviously you book out. How does it? I'm sure there are sometimes conflicts when somebody really wants you to work on their book. Like you've auditioned for something like a year ago, and
Yeah.
then then it only just pops up now. Does that mean you
So
working like 24-hour days?
well, no, it depends on I think like this one was probably pushed out so much because there's so many people in the cast. I think it's like a eight
Mhm.
cast.
Yeah.
So like that is
Wow.
getting everybody scheduled to be able to record around the same time, within like the
Yeah.
same week and a half is pretty rough to be able to manage that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sometimes I mean like sometimes you get a book and they'll say, "Hey, can usually the publishers, the producers will say, "When's your next available
Got it.
recording spot?"
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then so like and I offer Monday to Monday usually to record
Yeah.
that so it's like so then I'll be like, "Okay, I can go on this next one and my chunks in the schedule. But sometimes it's, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, I can do this in February. And then they're like, okay, your co-narrator is booked out until, July. So, and then they're like, okay, that's fine. I can do that then too. So sometimes, it's
Mhm.
in a couple weeks, and then sometimes it's in a year from now. So
That makes sense.
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Well,
I feel like we had so much more to talk about,
so
and we
much more.
talked about water for too long.
I know. And now we have to wrap it up.
Now we're at the end of it. We're like, crap.
I'm sorry for being so specific
Uh,
about my water.
No,
No,
we
love
yeah,
it.
We want
This is exactly what our podcast is. It's just absolute chaos.
Rabbit
And that's why
holes.
we like it, because it's just, yeah, it's just getting to know the person, right? Like, how many people know that you like that specific water?
Yeah.
People who listen to this podcast now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to send Amy some hint water,
Yeah,
she'll
hint.
be
Yeah,
forever grateful.
I would love to be sponsored. Hint, please, because I drink a lot of your
Reach
water.
out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
water.
should.
Yeah.
I should.
You should. Next time you post something on Instagram, be like,
hint.
there's a
Hint.
thing we used to do on our podcast is we used to drink Ghost Energy, and we both stopped it because we're like, it's too much, because we're doing like multiple episodes in like one day, and we're like, it's too much Ghost. But we used to do is this episode is brought to, or what did we used to say is like, we're gonna be drinking Ghost Energy, who is not a sponsor
Yes.
yet.
Yeah.
And like that was like our little pitch. Should definitely hit them up. You never know who's gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Audiobook narrator. But I mean, it's not like she can
Yeah,
we
randomly
drink
just flip and
so
hint
much. Yeah, yeah. Just
in your audiobook.
yeah.
She took a sip of her hint
Yeah.
water.
The editors are like, Amy, you gotta stop. It's not gonna happen. No more.
Yeah.
The
Stop
author
making us
is like,
take
wait
this
a minute.
out. Yeah. Yeah.
Amy, really quick, before we go into our outro, I know you had indicated that you would be willing to give away a potential credit for an audiobook that you've narrated.
Oh, cool.
I'm kind of hoping, because we're about to wrap up our first season of our podcast, and I think it'd be nice to do a big giveaway
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people with a bunch of different things. Would it be okay if we hit you up again and kind of coordinate with you then? Would that be all right with you?
And I'll
Awesome.
do
Our
three
giveaway is gonna be massive.
3 credits
Oh.
for that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Let's
Thank
do
you
it.
so
Let's
much.
go big. Yeah.
We appreciate that so
This
much.
giveaway is gonna be like 50 books.
It's gonna be an
crazy.
That's
insane giveaway.
awesome.
I think it's
I
gonna
love
be
that.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
All right.
Okay.
Ty, do your outro.
I don't wanna leave, but we do have to.
We do.
we do our outro.
Hint, hint.
We started with what was it called? High water? No.
Hint.
Hint
I
water.
just said
We
it
ended
too.
with hint water. That was like a full circle moment.
We got it.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Amy, thank you so much for
Thank
taking the time to come
you.
on and talk to us, little baby podcasters. We had such a fun time talking with you.
Yeah.
And we have so many more questions, but just like is status quo with Little Prince, we got way off topic and just enjoyed the chit chat with you. So before we let you go, we want to let the people know what you got going on in your life.
And where they can find you.
There you go.
Yeah, you can find me I'm on Instagram a lot. That's like my big one. So at Amy Hall narrates. And yeah, my DMs are always open. I love chatting with people and talking books. And I am a extroverted Gemini. So like I need people, I need interaction. So feel free to hit
Nice.
me up. Yeah.
And you have a website too where authors
do.
can go and check you out?
I do, yes. It's amyreadsoutloud.com. And
Amy Reads Out Loud.
Oh, I love
there's samples, there's a forum you can fill in if you have questions or you want to talk. Yeah, and any authors that I work with most of the, if not almost all of the
I knew this was going to happen.
Hi.
Sorry, continue. We're going to pretend that Carol's not here.
With most of the production companies. So yeah, you can find me everywhere. Unfortunately, you will be sick of me. So
Never sick of you, Amy. Oh, Amy, meet Carol or C.M. Wiley, author. Carol, if
Amy
you're
Hall,
looking
narrator.
for an incredible audiobook narrator for your book series, meet Amy Hall, who's also in Cali. She is in the Central Valley, close to us.
Awesome. So she's very close to us. Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
All right.
It's so great.
Yeah, okay.
I was
I knew that was gonna
I really
happen.
was trying. I'm so sorry.
So no, that's totally cool, it's totally cool. We kind of, this has been happening on the last couple of episodes where the next guest pops in and we kinda do like a "Hello, hello," and then the other one pops out, and then we just
That's
continue on.
awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
Amy, thank you
well, thank you so
so
much,
much.
Thank
Amy.
you
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you
guys.
so
Thank you.
much.
This was so fun. And yeah, have a great rest of the recording day.
Thank you. And now you
Oh,
get to
thank you.
unpack your luggage and hopefully you get to rest up a little bit before you dive right back into it.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
All
All
right. Thank you,
right. Thank you
Amy.
so much. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.